What's good, my generals? Back with another video, man, with some knowledge for y'all. We're gonna come with some knowledge, bro. Just give y'all something to think about, man. And this video is about we got to stop blaming women for our results and our actions. You know what I'm saying? And what I say by that, it's such a deeper level that it comes down to. So, more than blaming women, let me tell you what a man was really put on earth to do. If you want to go off scripture, or go off any religion, or any statistics that you want to go off, a man was put on earth to lead, right? But some people might say, what is a leader? Well, let's go to work, right? I even took notes for this one. At work, when you become a lead, key skills and factors they want you to have as a leader at work is integrity, communication, vision, awareness, resilient, treat people with respect so people can treat you back with respect, transparency, and courage. But at jobs, they don't just give you a leadership role. Some they do, some they don't. It's crappy jobs. But at companies I have worked in, they make you take leadership classes. And some people put it into play, which are most likely good leaders at your job. And some people don't, which are probably some people who are not good leaders at your job. And kind of the difference between those two is you got one boss or one leader. You be at a job where you like, I like this job because I could do whatever I want, but I don't like it because I can't progress. I mean, that's bad leadership though, right? So let's wind it down from work and then let's bring it to self as men. The reason why I say focus on yourself first and not women, I hear a lot of people talking about, get your money right, get in shape, get healthy, you know what I'm saying? Leave women alone, focus on yourself. And then women gonna come. Women gonna always come into your life and go. But what are you doing to be a higher self or becoming better of yourself? Like when I got married young, I got married off. My mom and dad was married. And I saw it my whole life in church and different things. But I wasn't really, you have visions in front of you, but I really wasn't really taught the importance of leadership as a man. See, leadership isn't about, or even if playing sports, or people got the wrong idea of leadership. People think leadership is like, I'm the first one to finish. I'm the first one to do this. I'm leading with power. No leaders lead with an iron fist, right? A leader, an inspirational leader, leads by putting other people in position to do tasks that they didn't think they was capable of doing. And that gives them development. It grows people's character, right? But you have to give them training and mentoring. But let's go to leadership of self that men have to start working on, that we have to do to become better men. And when I say I found myself, yeah, I definitely did my thing and slung it a lot. You feel me? But at the same time, I did a lot of self-reflecting to I don't blame my ex-wife for me getting a divorce. I blame myself because when a man asks a woman to be his wife, he's saying, leave your dad or your nest and come with me and be my baby. I don't think y'all understand what a woman really wants in a man. A woman want to be your baby, my G. Even these little young broads. But a lot of times they don't know because a lot of times they grew without a father in their life. But that's statistics I'm going to get into later. I will say this. There's a 21% rate or higher in climbing of single mothers in households in America. Overall. When we go down to the pie breakdown of that 21%, 34% of that rate in climbing is black women. But anyway, new slaves, Kanye West said it. But anyway, skills and traits and things that you have to learn to be a better leader for yourself. That's why I say when you get out of a relationship, focus on yourself for a few years before you jump back in a relationship because you don't take time to learn, right? So skills and things that you have to learn for yourself, that you could really sit there and reflect and say, I wasn't doing this when I was in a relationship. And yeah, she was down bad for leaving or cheating or doing whatever she did. But this is probably why. Self-awareness, right? Being aware of yourself and things that you're doing right or doing wrong or could do better. But we're just going to go down the list for yourself that you need to work on, right? Self-awareness, things you want to get better at. I do it all the time. Goal settings. Goal settings. You know, I grew up where we didn't really set that many goals. You know, families wasn't taught that. But for yourself as men who's becoming leaders for themselves, to be able to live their life, to be able to lead somebody else later on in the future, goal settings is very important. Being able to set goals for yourself and being able to accomplish those goals. Start off small, then medium, then big. Because if you set a goal too big, you can easily fall and fail and feel bad about not reaching them. Prime example. You know, I say I lost like 30-something pounds last year. I got more I want to go. But I'm doing this, I'm setting goals. 2 pounds each week, 5 pounds this week. And I celebrate it. And I celebrate it. And I keep climbing. What I always say, brick by brick. Goal setting for yourself as a man. Things you have to work on to becoming a leader of yourself. You can't lead nobody else if you can't lead yourself. Goal settings. Decision making. Making decisions, but not making decisions off emotions, but making decisions of thinking what makes sense. Doing research. Taking time to figure out what the result's going to be if I make this decision and what the result's going to be if I make that decision. Decision making. One of the biggest ones is self-discipline. Self-discipline. Leadership as a man. You got to have self-discipline, bro. If you ain't got self-discipline, bro, good luck. You ain't going to be able to save no money. You ain't going to be able to commit to no job. You ain't going to be able to start no business that you trying to start. You ain't going to be able to stay off porn sites. You ain't going to be able to stop going to strip clubs. You ain't going to be able to chase no money. You ain't going to get nothing accomplished without self-discipline. Self-discipline. Time management. Emotional intelligence. And that's something else I want to talk about. But do your research on emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is very important to understand. And it's pretty much an overall saying of like being able to understand people's emotions and understand what their emotions could be potentially meaning. Like being able to really read the room. Being able to have, talk to a person and understand, look at them and kind of understand what they could potentially be going through. Or even yourself. But it's so much deeper, but it's so much easy to understand, and I'll go into that later. But emotional intelligence, resilience, right? Resilience as yourself is life gonna keep punching you. It's gonna keep punching you. But what you keep doing, you keep getting the fuck up and keep fighting that motherfucker. Being resilient. These are things for yourself. And one of the other ones they say that's very important is continuous learning. Continuous learning. Continuous learning. How can you lead somebody else? How can you be in the family? How can you bring knowledge to people if you don't learn new things yourself? Right? I continuously try to find new things to learn. Continuously learning. Whatever it is. New knowledge. The brain is made to grow. Keep working this muscle too. Not just these muscles. I got a little something. Keep working these muscles too. Continuous learning. Integrity. Doing the right thing when nobody not watching. You dig? Lead it for yourself. And I ain't saying be perfect. But when you set goals, all these things are things you have to be able to be good at to be able to accomplish them. Positive self-talk. I'm proud of myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of myself. I left New Orleans. I moved to Texas. I was able to adapt. A lot of people wasn't able to do it. I moved to Texas and I moved to another state in Texas that's more tech world. But you know what I'm doing? I'm able to adapt. I'm proud of myself. I set a goal to lose a certain amount of weight. Yeah, I want to lose this much, but I lost that much. I'm proud of myself. I never been to jail before in my life. I'm proud of myself. Yeah, I might have lost this job, but you know what? I was able to bounce back. It might not pay as much as that one, but you know what? I'm making sure I'm learning skills to be able to get what I want, to be able to adjust to the environment I'm in. I'm proud of myself. I woke up this morning. I fasted for 16 hours and I ate at this time. I'm proud of myself. You know what? That blunt I wanted to smoke, I ain't smoking because I want to cut back. I'm proud of myself. That drink I wanted to have, I didn't have it. I'm proud of myself. Or that drink I normally, when I drink a whole bottle and I drunk half of it, I'm proud of myself. Self-talk. Uplift yourself. Very important. Positive talk. Healthy habits, man. Healthy habits. Do your research on it. Communication. Leadership of yourself is being a communicator, communicating. Being able to have somebody you're friends with that hold you accountable. Like, you got to have that homeboy to be like, yeah, son, I was thinking about doing this and doing that. And he'd be like, bro, I'm going to be real with you. I don't think that's a good idea. I ain't feeling that. And he'd be like, what you mean? And they tell you real reasons why, and you don't feel like they hating on you or feel like they're saying something to you because they don't want to see you win. You need to be able to have somebody like that. And you need to be able to be somebody like that for them. Like, you know they ain't jealous. You know they ain't telling you nothing that'll hurt you or harm you. They're holding you accountable. But communicating, being able to communicate effectively without raising your emotion, raising your voice, you know what I'm saying? Or without yelling or acting out all crazy. Communication. Same thing as a workplace leader. You got to be able to communicate. Empathy and compassion. And empathy is pretty much, like we say, respect and self-respect and giving respect. Being able to give respect and receive it back. And empathy is pretty much, if I was driving and I cut that person off for no reason and kept going, instead of just driving like I don't give a damn, I'm in charge, but taking a moment to be like, you know what, if I was them, I wonder how I would have felt. And I'm just using driving for an example. Anything like that. Empathy is the key to stop being selfish. And that's the key to being a good leader for yourself. And the last but not least is taking responsibility for your actions. That's what all is coming down to being a leader, bro. Taking responsibility of your actions. You know, I didn't see people get on here and talk about their divorce story. And that's fine. You know, do what you do. But I'll never get on here and bash that person because too many people doing it. Because pointing the fingers at everybody else, or never sit back and give you opportunity to point the finger at yourself and see things that you could have did better. Because at the end of the day, we all human beings, man. We all trying to figure out life, man and woman. We all trying to survive. So take accountability and make yourself better. And it ain't just with a relationship. That's at work too. That's with your business too. That's with friends and families too. Self-accountability, bro. You know, so again, for self-development, to be a leader for yourself as a man, self-awareness, setting goals, decision-making, self-discipline, time management, emotional intelligence, resilience, continuous learning, integrity, positive self-talk, healthy habits, communication, empathy, and responsibility of self. Taking responsibility for your actions, man. You know? So these are like things you need to learn how to like start working on. None of us are perfect. Then once you start getting better at these things, so that's the things I feel like they're not adding in. Some people are when they say, be single, leave women alone, focus on you, get your money up. All that's going to happen, right? But primarily, we was put on earth as two. Adam and Eve, man and woman. You know, all the things you taught, they tell you to do, all leads back up to you being with a woman. Long term or short term. But once you get these leadership things mastered or start working it on, because all I want to do is give you direction. What they say, I could bring you to the fountain, but I can't make you drink. So I'm just trying to show y'all another fountain of a way of thinking. Because there's so many more layers of what I want to talk about. Like, we went off work leadership roles. And now we going off self-leadership roles. And then they got relationships leadership, you know, traits that you need to have as a man being a lead in a relationship. And that's decision making, active listener, communication skills, things you practice for yourself, emotional intelligence for yourself, respectful for yourself, reliable and responsible. I can depend on you. Supportive, flexible, and adaptable. All these leadership things from work, self, and relationship all kind of tie in together. So my men, we all got to work on leadership. That's really one of the biggest problems why the world going the way it's going. Lack of leadership. And why is there lack of leadership? Because it's a lack of men in households growing up leading their men, leading their kids, leading their families. But we're going to keep going. I got so much to talk about. I even started doing research statistics on success rate of men raised by a single mom. And we do have successful men, but it's a lower rate compared to having a complete family. Then I started doing doing research, looking at statistics on, I think it's called femicide, something like that. But it's pretty much about homicides that happen from men killing women. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about the fact that y'all niggas killing women a lot. And it goes more than one race. But as soon as a woman say they don't want to be in a relationship no more, do act off emotion and killing women. So all these things that's happening is leading up to reasons why women don't feel safe. And why they doing things they doing. And focusing on their bag. And going to get their own education. And not depending on a man. And it all tie back into lack of leadership. And guidance. And I'm going to keep going down this story. I'm learning to take notes to be able to lead on what I want to talk about so I don't go all over the place. Because my brain, man, I do a lot of research. And I have statistics to back a lot of this stuff up. I ain't only just talking. I have statistics to back these things up I've been looking at and I'm talking about. And in the black community, we low on a lot of things. Right? If you really look at it, they teaching us, everybody talking about division and not coming together. Because the real power and the real power that we have is together. And it's love. And it's development. And it's learning. And it's creating. Black Americans lead the world in divorces. Black Americans lead the world in men being in jail. Well, we up there. I ain't gonna say we're not the world. I'm gonna say U.S. Because DR a beast. DR has some high rates of domestic violence. Boy, they pimping out there. DR messed up. But I'm just saying Black African Americans, we real men, let's go on men. We incarcerated. We low on the education pool. We low on marriage. We low on leadership roles. We ain't developing. And it comes from a lot of men not being leaders in their households and not learning how to lead themselves. And a lot of time it comes from men being raised by single women. So if a single woman don't have a man that'll make her feel like a baby and comfort and shelter and not saying, I got this, don't do nothing, but let's work as a team. I'm your partner, you my partner, we gonna help each other. Then that woman dealing with a lot of stress that she gotta learn to deal with. And a lot of times the woman gotta work more than 2 jobs. So the streets probably raising the kids because they're outside. Or she can't raise a boy the way a man can raise a boy, a way a man can raise a boy. But she do her best, and shout out to them single moms. But a lot of times, them boys grow up very emotional and unstable emotionally. And that's the ones a lot of them who be doing the domestic violence. Or they have men in their life. But what I said the other day, sometimes a woman will take 20% of a man than not have a man at all. Men be touching boys, girls, in and out, they want my life, domestic violence. See, that's what I like about Disney and different things now. Even like Penguin. I went to see Mufasa. And they went all the way back to show you why Mufasa was the way he was. That's what I think about, right? Like, yeah, you this and you act like that, but I wonder why you act like that. What trauma you had or how was you raised? Because again, I talk about core values. It's something that happened to you here that you hid as you got older. Then when you got older, who you was here is exactly who you are. And the only way to address that shit and fix it is to acknowledge it. But I could keep going, man. Long video, I'm going to break it up. You know, General Tables, man. I'm going to keep spitting it to y'all. General out.